Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon, everyone. Well,
Good afternoon.
we are from Group 3. We will present our material is about application. So in this material, there are three main parts of this material. That the first is about the syllabus, and then material evaluation, and the last is material design. For the first presenter, I will invite Nurul Fitriani to present about the introduction. Please, Nurul, time is yours.
All right. Thank you, Aulia Rahman, for inviting me as the first speaker. Yeah, today I would like to present about introduction. Okay. According to Tom Hassington and Alan Walters, Lancaster, 1986, English for specific purposes is teaching which has specified objective. English language work got along well enough without for many years. So why ESP has become such an important part of English language teaching. In ESP, students hope by learning ESP can serve as a guide to all present and future and inhabitant of ESP, revealing both the challenges and pleasures to be enjoyed there and the pitfalls to be avoided. DSP is related to a learning central approach because in development, ESP has paid send attention to the question and how people learn, focusing instead on the question of what people learn. And then in English academic purposes or EAP, there is English for medical studies and English for occupational purposes. It called EAP. There is English for technicians. And then there are English for business and economic or EBE. And then they are divided into two REAP. There's English for economic and English for secretaries. However, in ESP, we'll discuss into several chapters, such as the origin of ESP, the development of ESP, ESP approach, another product, language decryption, theories of learning, and need analysis like second group has explained before and in the last meeting, an approach to course design. And then today there are several parts, for example, the syllabus, material evaluation, material design, who will explain in the next slide. Thank you, Aulia.
All right, thank you, Nurul Fitriani, for the explanation. So the next presenter, I will invite Aulia Rahmani Oriza Zatifa to present about the syllabus. Please, Aulia, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for giving me a chance to explain about syllabus. So according to Longman Dictionary, that is a syllabus is the guide to course that what will be expected of you in the course. So in this, there are several syllabus different by its function. First, the evaluation syllabus. So in the evaluation, it is kind of syllabus will be most familiar as the document that is handed down by the ministry or other regulating bodies. And the second one is organizational syllabus. In this organizational syllabus, the syllabus states the order in which it is to be learned. It is most familiar in the form of the content page of the textbook. And then the third one is the material syllabus. The material syllabus is the first person to interpret the syllabus is usually the materials writer. Why? Because so we get our third kind of syllabus, that the material syllabus. In the writing materials, the author adds yet more assumption about the nature of the language learning, and then the language use. The fourth is that the teacher syllabus. The second stage of interpretation is usually comes through the teacher. The great majority of students in the world learn language through the meditation of the teacher. And the fifth one is the classroom syllabus. As every teacher knows, what is planned and what actually happens in a lesson are two different things. So a lesson is a communicative event which is created by the interaction of a number of forces. So the classroom then creates a condition which will affect the nature of planned lesson. And the sixth one is the learner syllabus. The learner syllabus is the network of knowledge that develops in the learner's brain, which enables the learner to comprehend and store the latter knowledge. Why should we have a syllabus? So first, to make the material manageable, and the second, to give more moral support to the teacher and the learner. Third, to give a cosmetic role, and then fourth, to returning to our analogy of learning as our journey. The syllabus can be seen in the statement of the project roots. And then fifth, the syllabus is an implicit statement of views on the nature of language learning. And six, syllabus provide a set of criteria for material selection on writing. And the seventh, an informity is a necessary condition of any institutionalized activity, such as education. And the last one is in-depth teaching is intended to lead the learner to a particular state of knowledge. There needs to be a criteria against which success or value in reaching that the state will be assessed. So that's the reason why should we have the syllabus. So here are the on what criteria, I'm sorry, on what criteria that we need in organizing the syllabus. So first, the topic syllabus. Topic syllabus is the best on the topics which are selected from the students, specialists, the students, and the language analyzed based on the appropriate syntax. Second one is that structural and situational syllabus. The focus of a structural syllabus is aspect of grammar, so such as verb, tenses, sentence patterns, article, and nouns. And the third one is that functional or national syllabus. So based on Jordan 1997, points out that entails conceptual meaning nations of time, space, quantity expressed through languages, logical relationship, and the communicative purpose. It is like the function of the syllabus itself. And then the four is that the skills of syllabus. Skill-based syllabus is organized around the different underlying abilities that are involved in using a language for purposes of such as listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And fifth, situational syllabus. According to Taxide, it is a situational syllabus is a collection of the real imaginary situation in which language occurs or is used. And then the next one is the functional or task-based syllabus. A task-based syllabus, or also known as a functional, is a series of complex and purposeful tasks that the students want or need to perform. And then the next one is the discourse or skill syllabus. Discourse or skill syllabus emphasizes the discourse which are related with the context of its use. The skills and then the last one is that the skill and strategy syllabus. Skills and strategy syllabus concern to the strategies which can be used to teach and assess the students' competence and comprehensions. I think that's all from me about the syllabus, and then it will be back to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Aulia, for the good explanation. So I will invite Nurul Fitriani again to present about material evaluation. Please, Nurul, time is yours.
All right, thank you very much, moderator, for inviting me again. And then I would like to continue our presentation about material evaluation. After completing our need analysis, core design, and then the syllabus, the next step that should be done by the teacher is deciding what they will do. Then teacher may turn the course design into actual teaching materials. So there are three possible ways of turning into material evaluation. So there are 2 points in this slide. The first one is how do we evaluate the material, and then why evaluate materials. And the first one is why evaluate why evaluate materials? There are 4 points that we display in this slide. The first one is because evaluation is a matter of judging the fitness of something for a particular purpose, and then evaluation is the concern with the relative merit. There is no absolute good or bad, and then only degrees of fitness for the required purpose, and then evaluation of exciting materials can provide a good learner. So according to Hussington and Waters 1987 state that evaluation is a matter of judging the fitness of something for a particular purpose. Evaluation a concern on a relative merit. And then in another word, according to Hussington and Waters, also state that any kind of evaluation, for example, the decision final merit is likely to be better for being based a systematic check of all important variable. In doing the evaluation materials, the writer probably get a negative and positive impact. The negative side of evaluation material is the teacher probably spend a lot of expense, time, and probably getting frustrated. But on the other hand, the positive sides of evaluation material is it can also help in justifying requests of the sponsor or the member of an ASP team for to know the materials and then to know how the procedure or systematic appraisal measuring the potential value and then the relation of their objective. So in other words, material evaluation means a principal process of providing useful information about the target materials in order to select and develop them in reliable and a valid approach. Can you back to the slide before? And then okay, thank you. And then the second one is how do you evaluate materials? There are 4 major steps. For example, defining criteria, subjective analysis, objective analysis, and matching. Hussington and Waters in 1987 state that evaluation is basically a matching process. A matching needs to a available solution. In order to match the needs and solution, the matching should be done as objective as possible. It means that the teacher have to look the needs of students and the solution separately. In the final analysis, any choice will be made in subjective ground. However, if subjectivity influences your judgment, it might blind you to possible alternative. For example, teacher might reject a particular textbook because teacher does not like the picture or the cover or dislike function syllabus, but it does not mean that the book does not suit the needs or of the students. Thus, teachers should not let subjectivity too much influence their judgment in the early stage of analysis when evaluating materials to be tough. So the first 2 stage will be done in the several stage, while other and from all the process above, teacher will be easier to know how far the material match to the needs. Maybe so I'm sorry, enough for me, and I will be bringing back to moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nurul Fitriani, for the good explanation. So the next material will be explained by me. It's about material design. Well, in designing the objective in material design, we can identify some principles which will guide us in the actual writing of the material. The first is materials provide a stimulus to learning process. It means that good material should encourage learners to learn. Good materials contain interesting tasks, enjoyable activities, opportunities for learners to use their knowledge and skills, and then content which both learners as well as teacher can overcome. Next is materials help to organize the teaching learning process by providing a way through the complex mass of the language to be learned. Good materials should provide a clear and understandable unit structure that will guide teacher and learners. And the last is materials embody a few of the objective. In writing materials, it should reflect what you think and feel about the learning process. Next slide, please. So in writing the materials or in designing the materials, here are some important things that you have to know. The first is you have to use existing materials as a source for the ideas, and that it is better to work in a team. So in designing the material, you have it is better if you have a friend or a partner to write to design the material. And then remember, don't set out to write the perfect material on the first draft. Materials can always be improved. Use what you learn from experience to revise and expand materials. And also don't underestimate the time needed for materials writing. And please pay careful attention to the appearance of your materials. Next, please. Okay, so that's all about the material design. I will conclude from what we have been discussed here. So in the institutional frameworks in which most teaching takes place, we must accept the predetermined syllabus as a fact of life. A syllabus is not diving. It's a document that should be used flexibly and appropriately to maximize the aims and process learning. In view of the many roles that it plays, it is essential that a great deal of thought is given to how the syllabus is used. And use sensibility and sensitively, a syllabus can provide the support and guidance that creativity thrives on. Okay, that's all about our explanation about application and some of the important some of the important material that you have to we already discussed here. Have you or are you have questions? Do you have?
Yes.
Okay, please mention your name.
Okay, my name is Yuti Wistia Shahyani. So in here, I want to ask about how do you choose your material in instructional material? Can you give example like what book do you use in designing a material? For example, ESP for hotel. So what book do you use for that, and how you design this material that's based on students' needs? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the questions. Any questions again? Any others? Okay, because there is no again, so give us the time to answer your questions.
Okay, I will try to answer your questions. Thank you very much for the question, Yud. I think the book that we are going to use to design material or for the instructional material is that it is based on what we are going to teach. So like what my friend has explained before. So in a material design model, so there are many things that we should see. First, the input, like so you should see the stimulus material for the activities, the new language or items, the correct model of the language used, or topic for the communication. So it is impossible if you use the English for specific purpose for economic, and then you are teaching it in the hotel class. It is impossible. And the second one is that if the material should focus, so the language is not an and in itself, so it must that means the transferring information. It is even it is not non-linguistic content, but it should be exploited to generate meaning in the classroom. And then the third one is we should focus on the language. So our aim to teach the students is that to enable the learners to use the language, but it is unfair to give the learners communicative tasks and activities for which they do not have enough language knowledge. So we should focus on the language itself. So they have their own language, for example, for economic, for hotel. And the last one is that the task, we should see the task for hotel class is different with the task for economic class. So the primary focus on the unit is the task, the language, and the content are drawn from the input are selected according to what the learners will need in order to do the task. I think that's the answer from each question. Thank you, moderator.
Okay, thank you, Aulia Rahmania, for answer Kait's question. So I will ask Nurul Fitriani. Do you want to add additional answer? Okay, thank you, because Nurul doesn't want to, and I think it's already good explanation. So I'll give it back to the Iyut. Are you happy with the answer?
Yeah, I think it's clear enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Iyut, for the questions, and thank you for all the presenter and also for the participants to pay attention to this discussion. So I close this discussion today by saying Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, and thank you.
Thank you very much for all the
Thank you.
participants.